President Trump argues that tariffs, a tax imposed on products imported from overseas, are important for national security and will boost the U.S. economy. He even tweeted back on March 2nd that trade wars are good and easy to win. But many American business owners say the president's trade policy is costing them millions in revenue and forcing them to cut jobs. Among the companies who've criticized the president's move, Harley-Davidson, the Milwaukee-based company, announced this past week that they'd have to move some of their production out of the U.S., saying the president's 25% tax on foreign steel and 10% tax on foreign aluminum will cost them $20 million. President Trump tweeted, "If they move, watch, it will be the beginning of the end. They surrendered. They quit. The aura will be gone and they will be taxed like never before." It's not just Harley-Davidson. America's largest nail manufacturer, the Mid-Continent Nail Plant in Missouri, says tariffs have pushed it to the brink of closure. And global auto supplier Lucerne International out of Michigan also warns that they may not last the quarter. CEO Mary Buchseiger joins us from Southfield, Michigan. It's so nice to have you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me, Soledad.
You're most welcome. So start by telling me about Lucerne International and what you create and what you import from China.
So Lucerne International, we're a global automotive supplier, and we make cast, forged, and stamped components and assemblies. And we're actually a worldwide manufacturer. So we manufacture parts not only in the U.S., but also in China, Taiwan, and we're getting into European operations right now as well. And we produce about roughly 80% of our products throughout China and Taiwan right now.
You've grown pretty impressively. What I read was you had revenues in the $40 million, and you were looking realistically at $50 million. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. So over the last 10 years, we've come from under $2 million in sales to over 40. And with our current contracts and our growth record where we're at right now, we should be at over 50 next year. And our ultimate goal is to be a billion-dollar company in the next 10 years.
Which has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
So you've been removed from this list of the 25% tariff, which I know was kind of what sent you into a bit of a tailspin the other day. You've been taken off that list. So what tariffs do you face right now? What's the risk you face?
So we were taken off the original list of 301s. Unfortunately, on May 23rd, our administration came out with a new investigation into the Section 232 tariffs, stating that they were going to possibly put a tariff on all imported vehicles and all imported automotive components.
So I had read that you were genuinely concerned that your business might struggle or not last through the quarter. Is that still true? Do you think that's a possibility?
Well, if these tariffs were to take effect, absolutely.
You'd go out of business?
We potentially could, yeah. I mean, the original Section 301 tariffs would have cost us over $7.5 million annually. I don't have that kind of margin in my $40 million company. So we would have been out of business, within 2-3 months tops with the Section 301. Now, this new Section 232s, again, we don't know the answers.
You're a Trump voter and a Trump supporter.
Right.
He was pretty clear during his campaigning that tariffs was going to be not just on the table, but, he really had a plan to get into a tariff fight with China. He spelled it out pretty often.
We support the need for change because, there are trade deficits. There are definitely technology issues with China. But we would hope for a better execution. Tariffs are no more than a tax on American companies. And I don't think that really people understand that.
I think you're right about that. I don't think people, it sounds very fancy, but it's just consumers pay more. That's the takeaway.
That's all it is. And people don't get that. It's a tax on American companies and American consumers. If all of these tariffs that are in place right now against the automotive industry were to actually come into force and they're estimating right now, the Global Automotive Alliance right now is estimating that vehicles could go up by more than $6,000 per vehicle. So at the end of the day, that's just the American consumer paying these. And I absolutely don't believe
we're not paying it,
the
right?
tariffs.
What happens is American consumers doesn't pay it, and then the people don't buy vehicles, and then
people lose their jobs.
Exactly. Mary Buchseiger, so nice to have you. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet.